Hey, what's going on? I'm Quis here at Sports Vibes TV, and this video we're going to be talking about Kemba Walker. Now, the news dropped yesterday that Kemba Walker will no longer be in the rotation for the New York Knicks. So there's some rumors that's been bubbling up. We'll look over that. Also, we'll look at some other teams the Knicks could potentially contact if they wanted to move Kemba and still get some value for him. So if you like this video, do me a solid, smash that like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have notifications set to all. That way you're notified whenever I drop new content. So with that being said, let's jump right into the first rumor that's kind of been circulating here online. So one of the big rumors, I guess, that's been circulating right now is the fact that the Knicks could potentially try to target John Wall. Now, I think this is being leaked from the Houston Rockets because honestly, I don't see the fit with the New York Knicks. Yes, John Wall is a 6'3", 6'4" point guard, and Tibbs has already mentioned that he likes his guards to be a little bit bigger in size. So, you know, there's a match there. But if you look at John Wall's contract, he's due $47 million next season. And I don't think John Wall is a difference maker for this team. So why would we go out there and try to move Kemba Walker for a guy making that much money who is not going to move the needle for this team? And also, I'm tired of us trying to find these stopgap solutions at point guard when we have players on this roster that can fill in. We're elevating Alec Burks. He did a great job against the Atlanta Hawks as Kemba's replacement. And I think we also have Emmanuel Quickley, who's shown the ability to handle point guard duties and point guard responsibilities. So why we would have to target a John Wall who is still, you know, he returned from his major injuries, but we haven't seen enough to say that John Wall is worth $47 million. And I don't think the Knicks should be looking to try and bring John Wall in via trade. Now, if you want to say John Wall negotiates a buyout with the Houston Rockets and that the Knicks should try to sniff around and see if we can bring him in for the low, then that would make more sense. But I still would not be interested in bringing him in even in that capacity. I think, you know, John Wall's better days are behind him, and the Knicks right now in our situation where we are as a team, we're not one piece away from being a championship contender. And I think if you look at John Wall, and if he were to go to a contender in a smaller role, you would see that being a better match as opposed to the New York Knicks, who are still trying to find themselves this season and regain their identity, the same identity that we had last year. I don't think adding someone like a John Wall to that mix would be ideal. I mean, right now, the issue with John Wall not playing with the Rockets is the fact that he doesn't want to take a step to the side while allowing those players like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. to take on larger roles with the team. That's the reason he's not on the court. At least that's what the reports are saying. So I don't think John Wall would be the right guy here in New York City, here with the Knicks. Maybe he might benefit another team via buyout, but for us as the New York Knicks, he is not the target we should be trying to go after, whether that be via trade or in the buyout market. But let's read into the article a little bit more. Not going to read the entire thing. It's a long article because this writer, he really had to go, you know, dive deep to try to make a legitimate claim or legitimate reason why the Knicks should try and pursue John Wall. So let me just get to some of the main points. Kemba Walker's return home as a key offseason addition to the New York Knicks roster was supposed to be one of the feel-good NBA stories this year. Skip down to this third paragraph. But the dreamy return of the highly productive native son has become a nightmare for all involved, resulting in the unimaginable. Walker out of the New York Knicks playing rotation altogether. Moving Walker out of the rotation is in response to a Knicks team, 11-9 this season, that opened the season with wins in 5 of its first 6 games, only to be a sub-500 team since then. The reasons are plentiful for the Knicks' latest in-season struggles, but the play of Walker, particularly on defense, has stood out for all the wrong reasons. Get this out of here. Multiple league sources believe the Knicks will look to trade Walker, whose value on the trade market, much like his production, is at an all-time low. However, league sources believe Walker's value has the potential to change as the Knicks get closer to the February 10th trade deadline and teams get more desperate to add a veteran who, despite his defensive shortcomings, has shown he can still make shots, albeit in a more limited capacity. So you see, the Knicks are probably going to have to hold on to Kemba Walker until the trade deadline. I definitely agree with that. I think his value will start to rise. Maybe there may be some injuries that teams may start calling and reaching out to us. But I think if we were going to look at a trade for Kemba Walker, I would try to mirror it to the Austin Rivers deal last year. We moved Austin Rivers out of the rotation and we, subsequently traded him to allow him to find, greener pastures elsewhere. And in that trade, we got Terrence Ferguson, and we also got Philadelphia's second-round pick. So that's what I would expect to see for Kemba Walker. Some salary filler to help make the salaries match, and potentially or hopefully a second-round pick. And you might say a second-round pick really doesn't have that much value, but look at the Atlanta Hawks game. The Philadelphia 76ers pick that we got in the deal for Austin Rivers turned into Jericho Sims. And Jericho Sims played 21 tough minutes against the Atlanta Hawks. He was key in helping us get that win down in Atlanta. So even if we're only able to get a second round pick for Kemba Walker, I think that is still going to be a solid return of investment, I guess. After looking at what we've got now, we got Kemba Walker, whose trade value is super low because he hasn't performed well. He's now being taken out of the rotation. So if we can net a second round pick, and if Leon Rose and the front office can continue to work their magic and make good selections, then, I'll be fine with that, because the other option would be to cut Kemba Walker. And I think Kemba Walker is still owed around $8-9 million. And if we cut him, I'm pretty sure that's still going to be on our cap and mess up our cap space moving forward. And that would be unfortunate because we have Joakim Noah's deal coming off the books at the end of this season. So now to tack on another $8-9 million, next season when we were getting ready to celebrate freeing up that money to help build a championship contender, that would suck. So hopefully the Knicks are able to find a trade partner at some point. I mean, the teams that I think the Knicks could try to reach out to, you have the 76ers. They're a team the Knicks could try to go out and contact and try to have them, strike a deal. The 76ers helped facilitate the Oklahoma City deal. Like I said, their pick became Jericho Sims. So even though they're rivals, maybe we can set something up. We can send him over there. They need some point guard depth, with the fact that Ben Simmons still has not played for that team. His future is still up in the air. They compare him with that second unit with Thibault, Milton, Korkmaz. Another option could be the LA Clippers. Clippers could use some point guard depth. Slot him in, meaning Kemba, with Eric Bledsoe, Reggie Jackson, and them boys. And then there's also the Mavs. You already know that the Dallas Mavericks, they love bringing in Knicks castoffs to try and revive their career. So hopefully Kemba can find a soft landing spot somewhere where he can get some minutes and contribute to some winning basketball. You guys, let me know what you think down in the comments about these potential rumors and about the options we have with Kemba Walker. Once again, I'm Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.